The National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Salt Lake City Pioneers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Green 80!
Go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this.
Hey, alert!
Tighten up. Switch.
Alert!
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Check 13.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Watch the safety cream.
Go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
Let's go. 60 yards.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Beat them.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown. Melvin Gordon. 89 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Run fast.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
Got it.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
On the set. Right there, right. 6-6, pull it high. Here we go. Oh, check. Hit it.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on second down. Stick. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. On third down, it's Stick. He's got his man. It's Darbo. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You got nothing. Deuce.
Pilot, 64, weak. Go.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
I can't believe they let you play.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. Touchdown! Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Watch twitch.
From the 24, Wilson flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Seahawks, nothing.
Twitch the team.
5-3-6. Pick me up. Here we go. Check.
14.
Jim.
Run it.
Switch.
On third down, Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarter.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Stick looking to throw. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen, if you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Zebra. Good cut.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey. Back 61, matchbox light, hit it.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. On second down, Eckler. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Here's Stick, third and long. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Alert, alert, alert. Alert for signal. One left. Let's go double count right here, double count.
To throw on second and 6, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
36 power. Still going 4 down. 3 down.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second and 9, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
First down, Seahawks.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I'll tell you what, partner, let me go nostalgic here for a moment. You just don't see fullbacks use as weapons like we're seeing right now. Just think about 20 years ago. You had guys like Mike Allstott, Tom Rathman, Moose Johnston in Dallas. Now, it's almost something you never see. Throwing it to the fullback and letting him make a big play.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Bang out, bam, bam. Check.
Begin. Watch 36 to Mike.
On 2nd and 9. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. He's got daylight past the 20. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown.
They can't stop you, son.
Backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Wilson steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a toss play to Eckler. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Get ready, get ready.
From the pistol, they run with Gordon. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Topper!
Stick looks to throw. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. Allen, the intended receiver. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. This is Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They go play action here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Kiki QT. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Badgley on for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
Under 10.
They begin with a run by Penny. He'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Hey, alert.
Line 36. Line 30.
40.
Shoot up.
14.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson will find Metcalf. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Throwing is Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Darren Lee picks it, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collected. And touchdown! Keenan Allen. His first touchdown of the new season. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check 49. Check 31.
A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. T.J. Yeldon. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, and the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and it's now 35-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check out read.
They run it here with Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Ready.
They'll try the right side this time, here with Gordon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Stick. Rolling to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Let's go now. 10 Lobo.
26 a month. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
5.
The quick slant caught. 10 more there and another first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back live here now in Salt Lake City. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
All day. All day.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, Gordon on 2nd and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Hey, Alpha.
54.
Now Stick. And it's caught. Touchdown. Kiki QT. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to take off with it. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Say. He's checking.
Go.
Hayward. Watch 36.
From the gun, Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete. TJ Yeldon, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Alert flare.
Check 52.
Wilson now on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will have a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now they'll run it again with Penny. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
36 to Mike. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me.
Alert.
Check. Check 37. Check 37. Check.
Alert.
Kill.
Spot that.
Wilson operating from the gun. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Friday. Double tight, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. Watch twist, 14. Twist. Easy.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went in the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick six, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
0-0.
Line 36. Line 36. Check.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Hey, switch gears. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson escaping the pressure right. He's got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Crunch. Out.
They run it from the gun with Yeldon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well. Hey, alert. One pass. Rush in.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. That one complete to Yeldon. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Line
36. Man out. Hey, alert 3.
Slam. Hey. Watch 36 to Mike. I got one.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Flushed out right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Second and 10 now. Wilson. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and it's third down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
I'll go special! I'll go special!
Here's Wilson to throw on third down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take